Right, hello, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the Mobile Motorbike Mechanic. I'm heading off today to go and do a radiator change on a Honda FireBlade. So quite an iconic Honda FireBlade as well, being one of the very first models. So yeah, we'll see you when we get there. Okay, so here we are with the iconic FireBlade. This is a 93 model. We're going to be fitting a new radiator in this one today. So the first thing to do, what we're going to do is pull the fairings off, and then we're going to do a coolant flush, get rid of all the old coolant, do a proper flush on it as well, clean out as much rubbish as we can, and then we'll fit the new radiator, top it back up with coolant. So we'll get into it and see how the process goes. Now we can get to the radiator. So this is your radiator here. This is what we're going to be removing. But first of all, what we want to do, we want to drain all the coolant out of this, fill it back up with water. Believe it or not, we want to put water in it, not coolant. We want to fill it back up with water and our coolant cleaner. And then we're going to run the bike up to temperature, then drop that, get rid of it, then change the radiator, then put up a new coolant. So it's coming on this side. This is your water pump here, and that there, I don't know if you can see that, that is your drain bolt just there. So we'll get that undone. And this one here is your drain bolt for your coolant system. There is a copper washer behind that, so we need to change that as well, but we'll do that in a minute. You look it. So you won't get much coolant out of this until you undo the actual cap on the radiator. So you might think to yourself you've undone the wrong one, but there it is. That's it. And there's the coolant. But when we undo the cap on the radiator, there we go. Going to be using the Liquid Moly Motorbike coolant radiator cleaner. So like I say, we are replacing this radiator with a new unit, but we're going to do the flush first off anyway before, because there's no point in putting all new parts on and then flushing it. Okay, right. So we're going to put so we've drained the coolant. There's the old coolant in the bucket there. We've refitted the drain screw. What we're going to do is we're just going to pop in half of this, because this is 5 litres and we only need a couple of litres for the coolant system on a motorbike. So we're just going to put half of this can in. Okay, so we've added the coolant cleaner into the radiator. We've topped it up with just normal water. We're now going to start the bike up, get it up to temperature. The fan's just cut in on the bike, so we know it's up to temperature. So now what we're going to do is we're going to drop all that water and the cleaner, and then we'll get to pulling the radiator out. So let's get on with that. So we're just going to drop the coolant, or not the coolant, but the coolant flush and the water. Now this is obviously hot and under pressure, so be careful. You will have some water in there, and that's going to be coolant flush rather than water, so we'll just take it out and get him cleaned out as well. The bucket in place. There you go. So that's definitely all the coolant flush gone out of the system. There we go. Right, let's get into the radiator removal then, yeah? On this bike, the radiator fan doesn't turn on unless you've got the ignition switched on. But on some bikes, the radiator fan will run even though the ignition is switched off. So don't go sticking your hand in there. Because even though it's the majority of them plastic bladed rather than metal bladed, it'll still hurt. Trust me, I know. Radiator fan plug. There we go, that's in undone. Should be everything. We're going to transfer over a load of parts from this one to the new one. Mainly the fan, this little shroud here. We're also going to transfer over the thermostatic switch. And then that's about it. And then this will be fit for the bin. You can see the lower mount is snapped off. And yeah, the bottom of the radiator is starting to really get quite crusty. So definitely worth replacing. Okay, so this lower mount on the radiator, as you can see, it's starting to bend. It's actually hitting the fans. So this is part of the radiator that's actually snapped off. So we need to separate those two. So we'll luckily in this particular place we've got a vise that we can use, which is good. We'll just bend that out. Now the radiator fan spins freely, and then we can just hopefully pinch that up somehow, and we'll get that lower mount removed. I tried to remove this bolt, and unfortunately the mount has just completely destroyed itself. So we'll just try it in the vise, gripping that last bit of mount. I'm not hopeful that this is going to come out, which is why we've gone and got the little die grinder. Oh, you never know. Maybe the threat of the die grinder was enough. Yep, it looks like the threat of the die grinder was enough. Here we've got the lower mount for the radiator. Now I'm not sure if that one is seized in there or whatever, but he's twisting and turning and bending the mount. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the mount off the engine. There we go. So yeah, as you can see, that's well and truly seized on there. So we'll have to try and get him off somehow and straighten that out. Okay, so we've got some decent penetrating fluid. All we're going to do is going to keep popping a little bit on there, and hopefully we can start to get that free. That's got it. Yeah, unfortunately we couldn't use heat on it because, yeah, there you go, we've got it. Whee. As you can see, it's all pretty crusty, but we can reuse that. That's fine. Might just run a thread cleaner down through there, and we'll get some we'll get some copper slip on there as well, so it doesn't end up being the same in the future. for some poor individual. New radiator, obviously being 30 years old, you're not going to be able to find a Honda radiator for it. Well, you are, but you're going to pay a lot of money. So this is just a generic FireBlade radiator, generic off the old eBay. Customer supplied this one. Obviously it goes in the bike that way around. 3 mounting holes for the radiator fan. 3 mounting points for the radiator to the bike. 2 hoses, thermostat, or not thermostat, sorry, temperature switch, and then 2 hoses at the back here. So yeah, everything looks like it's going to fit. Well, yeah, that all lines up. That's all good. Just cleaning the threads on this particular bolt because it's not very nice. This was the one that came out of the seized piece of radiator on the lower mount. So we're just going to clean it up with a dye so that we can reuse the bolt. So there you go. Now it's sliding in and out, rolling in and out nicely. Okay, so radiator lower mount, we said we were going to just clean it through, make sure the thread's all good. So this is just a thread chase rethreading set. So there we go. This is slightly twisted, as you can see, but we'll have to get it back on the bike and see where it is. We'll have to take it off and on again a couple of times, pop it in the vise and manipulate it into shape. In she goes. Okay, so the radiator's mounted. What we need to do now is fit this lower mount and see where it lines up. I think we're definitely going to have to take a bit of a bend out of that. A little bit. So, all we've got left is to reattach the pipes, fill it up, and then check for leaks. There we go, that's that one on. And then we get the main radiator hose itself. Look at that, it's a beauty. That's all good. So the radiator's in there, nice and solid. So the other side is just the one hose. That's that done. So inside here, radiator fan, we've already connected the radiator connector and we put the connector onto the radiator switch, fan switch there. That's that one done. Right, we've already replaced the drain plug a little while ago with the copper washer. So we'll fill it up with coolant, run up the temperature, and we're done. Right, let me go get the coolant. Back in a minute. We've got coolant top dried up, so that's as full as it's going to get. So we'll pop the cap back on again. All done. Just have a quick look around underneath, make sure there's no immediate leaks. It doesn't look like we're leaking anywhere. So what we're going to do is we're going to fire it up, run it up to temperature, check to see the fan comes on. Okay, so we've got it running. Moving in here, the radiator fan's just kicked in. So definitely up to temperature, all the radiator fans have turned off. Well, that's good for the time. Go around and have a look at the temp gauge. temp gauge is hot, but you know it's been sat here idling for quite a while. So radiator, there's no leaks, not dripping any coolant. Just with the cardboard so you can see there's no leaks underneath it. But we're all good. I'm happy with that. So what we'll do is we'll get the bearings back on again, call it there. Little tweak on all of these. Don't want to go mad. 30-year-old plastics, you know, might end up breaking on you. There we go. And that's it. All back to as it should be. All done. So, remember to like and subscribe, comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you want to see more of these. Well, obviously, if we get more of these, we'll bring them to you. Yeah, but yeah, no, a really nice, lovely 30-year-old machine, new radiator fitted, and that should go on for many years more. Okay, so see you later. See you next time. Bye.